This story is part of the 89% Project, an initiative of the global journalism collaboration covering climate now. A little known fact is that an overwhelming 89% of people worldwide care about climate change and want their governments to take meaningful action. Welcome back to On the Move, episode 12 of my Climate Impact Storytelling series. This time, we travel to India.
This is prayer.
In November 2024, I, Maren Krings, visual storyteller and author of H's for Hemp, embarked on a month-long journey through the Himalayan region of India. Joining me was Pierre-Yves Salin, co-founder of the project Hemp for World.
Stuck in the middle of everything here.
We made it!
Our mission was to explore how industrially used cannabis could bring greater social and climate justice to rural Himalayan communities. Despite health warnings due to extreme air pollution, we chose to spend several days in New Delhi, one of the world's most populous capitals and home to nearly 32 million people. We dive headfirst into the chaotic spiderweb of transport, where cars, rickshaws, bikes, buses, holy cows, pedestrians, and even wheelchairs magically share roads. While everything moves, there is one unspoken rule for everyone: don't touch.
It's insane. It's insane. I think we all love right in the mess.
This is where the story begins, in the streets of old New Delhi. Every winter, New Delhi is choked by toxic smog, a crisis mirrored across northern India. However, in November 2024, the capital experienced its worst air pollution since 2017. PM 2.5 levels, which are fine particles 30 times smaller than the width of a human hair, surged to over 30 times the World Health Organization's safe daily limit. The bulk of the deadly air pollution, nearly 50 to 60%, comes from urban emissions, a growing number of private vehicles, construction dust, and coal-fired power plants, which are providing India's electricity. As life bustled through the haze, the skies emptied of birds. And people, ourselves included, began to feel the physical toll. Schools were shut, offices slow to half capacity, construction was halted, and stay-at-home orders were issued to curb emissions. Over the winter month, smoke rolls in from the neighboring states where farmers burn crop stubble post-harvest. The cooler air traps pollutants close to the ground, creating a thick, inescapable smog. Every year, hundreds of thousands die from respiratory illnesses in India. Nearly half of the country's states exceed WHO's air quality limits by more than tenfold. In Delhi, a political blame game unfolded over the experimental fixes like cloud seeding and artificial rain. However, scientists are skeptical, as these weather modifications are still in early stages and fail to address the root causes of this ever-returning crisis. Our journey continues from New Delhi to the foothills of the Himalayas.
We shall cover the distance of 267 kilometers in about 4 hours. We'll be stopping at Panipat Junction, Kurukshetra Junction, Ambala Camp Junction, and Chandigarh
We
Station.
travel by train to Shimla, once the summer capital of British India, still echoing some of its colonial past. The final stretch from Kalka to Shimla takes us 6 hours aboard the historic Shimla toy train. Crawling along at just 20 kilometers per hour, we spot our first wild cannabis plants right out the train window.
I saw it.
During the 97 kilometers, we pass through more than 100 tunnels and cross 800 bridges, each echoing with bursts of Indian joy from passengers. A gateway to a nation embracing happiness. This narrow gauge railway, built in 1903, is one of India's 42 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Yet, along the route, signs of rapid development emerge. A new highway under construction promises to reshape the future of the Himalayan region, bringing increased access, transport, and industry. All of it unfolds alongside the old tracks, still wrapped in a haze of persistent air pollution.
Bye-bye. Have a nice time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
In Shimla, we meet advocate Devin Khanna, a seasoned legal professional practicing before the High Court and the Supreme Court of India. Beyond his expertise of medical and industrial cannabis legislation, he is also committed to environmental protection of marginalized citizens against industrial exploitation and land degradation, and was involved in the 2018 declaration of the no plastic zone within 500 meters of the Taj Mahal monument.
So these are the streams of the Himalayas. They're freshwater springs from where this water is coming. It's very pure water. And what happens is that we have cleaned this stream many times. But even if one single vehicle comes and dumps, that is what we have seen right now. Somebody had a festival probably in his house or some party in his house and changed the furniture and got all the cloth. Now you see all the blue and red cloth in the stream. So after we cleaned it, like we cleaned it 2-3 times, and this one person comes, brings his truck and dumps it here, and now it is there forever.
For years, advocate Devin Khanna has been a leading voice in the fight to legalize cannabis in India. He's actively shaping policies that would expand its use beyond religious and cultural traditions, aiming to restore economic opportunity to rural Himalayan communities that have cultivated, transformed, and traded cannabis and its many products for centuries. He also advocates for the decriminalization of charas, believing it could help drive out the far more dangerous street heroin known as chitta. In his view, sentencing young people to 15 years of possession, cultivation, or use only turns them into real criminals. Not by the plant, but by the prison system. After several days in Shimla with advocate Devin Khanna, our journey continues north into the heart of Indian cannabis culture, the Manali Valley, tucked within the folds of the Himalayas. Still suffering from the aftermath of what some call India's unspoken rite of passage, a stomach rebellion so common it might as well be stamped in your passport. We traded trains and buses for a more airy and independent way of travel with a motorcycle. Accompanied by the timeless thump of our Royal Enfield, we rode nearly 300 kilometers of lesser-traveled back roads, which offered us a vivid window into the rhythms of Indian countryside life. Besides the raw beauty of winding back roads and the bone-rattling potholes on India's rural transport lanes, the journey also exposed us to the ongoing dance between rural development and the looming threat of environmental disasters accelerated by the climate crisis. We are slowly approaching our destination. The final stretch into Manali reveals just how much this region has changed over the past decades. Once a sacred stop on the hippie trail, a mecca for European travelers in the 60s and 70s, drawn by the mountains and the mystique of charas, Manali is now a buzzing hub for Indian tourists chasing both alpine adventure and the fading echo of a freer time, when cannabis was simply part of the landscape. The construction of a new road, making the valley far more accessible, comes at a cost, dramatically reshaping the natural landscape. Finally, the road leads us to Sonam Sodha, the co-founder of the Himalayan Hemp cooperative.
So now when you will see, there won't be any plants left. And if you pay attention, you will notice that the plant is about to die or something because everyone has done their work.
I am Sonam Sodha.
Born in Muscat, Oman, and brought up in Kutch, Gujarat, western part of the India. And currently, I am located in Himachal Pradesh. I am co-founder of Himalayan Hemp Industries Private Limited. It's a social enterprise aiming to unite farmers, artisans, and innovators by developing eco-conscious hemp-based products like reusable hemp sanitary pads. Our vision is to actually preserve cannabis and hemp plants in Himalayan region by boosting marginalized communities. Like we give our like the flagship product which we are working upon right now. It is reusable sanitary pads, and we connect with artists and craftsmen like self-help group. We give them this material to stitch, and this is how we want to create a hemp value chain for farmers, artisans, and dreamers like hemp enthusiasts like us. So this is the basic dream what we have, and we want to follow this cooperative model where everything is transparent and farmers and artisans benefit more. Of course, along with the planet and people, the product has to be like that, which has to be sustainable. So this is the basic about Himalayan hemp and what we are trying to do in Himachal for with the use of hemp plant.
Himalayan Hemp was founded to restore self-governance to the impoverished mountain communities, the same that had driven for thousands of years through a cannabis-based trade economy. From this plant, they produced clothing, shoes, hats, medicine, and the psychoactive charas. These goods were exchanged for salt and opium from neighboring regions like Pakistan and Tibet. Over the centuries, this trade gave rise to sustainable business models along the ancient Silk Road, allowing many to lead dignified, self-sufficient lives. Then, suddenly and overnight, on November 14, 1985, those same citizens were turned into criminals. The Indian government, yielding to the global political pressure, banned cannabis cultivation and criminalized the plant.
And one good thing here, it's a village. It's not a mainstream area. So in village, they have the system where you can buy a small piece of this charas like that in 100 rupees, 200 rupees like that.
Okay, there's the charas from Parvati Valley, and then now next to it, the local hashish that's made here in Kulu, where the plant grows in Parvati. You get this, and here in Kulu you get this.
When I came here first, it was 1500 rupees to 2000. That was the max.
The tola is 5,000 rupees. It's about 10 grams, and is what a man can do in a day. So that's a lot of work, but that's also a lot of money.
Once more, we mount the seats of our Royal Enfield, heading toward the remote mountain village of Tosh, where the local farmers have just finished this year's charas harvest. We hope to find a few untouched plants still standing, to witness firsthand the artisanal process of rubbing charas by hand.
Break time.
The road climbs steadily to 2,400 meters above sea level, where we arrive at the lower edge of Tosh, a place often called the last hippie village of the Parvati Valley.
But Shimla being 2,000?
Well, we've passed the 2,000 long ago. We're like close to 3,000 now, I think.
Oh, fuck.
Ah la 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 la, putain. Okay, I'm off. Indeed, echoes of another era linger in the air. A curious interlude where the quiet resilience of mountain farmers meets the rising comforts of alternative tourism, all beneath the fading glow of a countercultural dream. Now on foot, we make our way to meet one of Sonam's friends, Anirudh Bijoy. Just like Sonam, he moved to Himachal Pradesh out of love for the plant. From the locals, he learned the craft of charas production. His homestead lies another 100 meters above the village, tucked away in the highlands, away from the hustle and bustle of the village. Anirudh's dream is to build an eco-cafe built from the herds and chives of the wild cannabis plant. A place where visitors can stay and connect more deeply with the land and their own creativity. He knows just too well all the challenges his local friends face who work with the wild cannabis throughout the region. All of them live under the shadow of policing and the continuing criminalization of the plant. Anirudh shares with us that locals are constantly in fear of being caught by the police, which would jeopardize their families and future in a heartbeat. And yet the harvest brings more than just risk. It still brings income, hope, and tradition for many of the locals. In celebration of our arrival and to ease my stomach cramps, Anirudh shares a bang with us. A quiet ceremonial moment of gratitude for the plant that continues to sustain the lives of the locals and provides the medical treatment I have not been able to find in 2 weeks. The following day, Anirudh initiates us in the traditional method of charas production. According to local custom, men, women, and even children rub the mature green wild plants between their hands. The sticky resin that accumulates on their skin is then scraped off and shaped into small balls. Though charas is illegal, it remains a highly sought-after natural product set to enhance focus, relaxation, and a deeper connection with the environment.
Send it to us. See. Do you see?
What remains after the charas is rubbed away, the stalk and fiber, is what Sonam envisions as raw material for hemp-based menstruation pads. For now, the women weave with imported Chinese hemp yarn, but Sonam is laying the groundwork for something greater, a local supply chain built from the region's own cannabis. As she educates and equips her community for circular production, advocate Devin Khanna continues his fight, pushing forward a new cannabis policy already written, now awaiting passage through India's High Court. In the world's most populous nation, with 1.44 billion people and rapid industrial growth, the return of industrial cannabis holds quiet but powerful hope. A hope for a more sustainable future.
Guru